Welcome to SingleStop's privacy training. There are two important reasons why we at SingleStop are vigilant about privacy and data security. For one, our anti-poverty work hinges upon the use of lots and lots of client information. We need to protect our work from data loss, data corruption, and data breaches that could corrupt our ability to produce results, obtain funding, or impair our reputation. Second, our clients trust us and our brand as a reliable and responsible nonprofit. Our clients are already vulnerable people with few economic supports. We need to protect them from identity theft and other fraud, and we need to assure them that we deserve their trust so that they keep coming back as needed. SingleStop is committed to the following principles when it comes to client privacy: consent, openness, minimum necessary, access limitation, confidentiality, rights to access and correct, and security. Now, let's look at each principle in more detail and how they apply to our friends Oscar and Melissa. They are both SingleStop clients. Oscar is one of our CBO clients and uses our services in order to find financial support for his family of 6. Melissa is the eldest daughter and a community college student. Because she spends so much time at school, including her work-study, she frequents the SingleStop site at her community college. It is absolutely necessary that clients agree to give us their personal information and agree that we can use it in certain ways. But to agree to something, people must understand what it is. People often have different understandings about privacy, so it's important to be clear. That is why we have a client privacy statement and website privacy policy that spell out, as simply as possible, how we collect and use their data. We require sites to ask each client to sign the statement and then securely save these signed documents. Sometimes clients are wary of giving us their personal information. It is also important to be open and honest with clients about what we are doing with their personal information. We tell clients that we use their information to screen them for many benefits and that we save their information in a client account so that SingleStop can track their status and continue to help them. We also tell clients that we share information on the big numbers of how many clients are served, their drawdown of benefits, and other data. But this data is used by us for research and shared to funders in the form of de-identified aggregate data. While it may be that SingleStop asks for a lot of client personal information, we do adhere to the principle of collection limitation. We only collect that which is necessary for our work of benefits screening and other services, including referrals to other sources of assistance. We do not want to overcollect any client information. Our staff in SingleStop offices and at the sites have different kinds of access to the client files. This access is assigned based upon their job duties. If you are a site lead in one place, you will not have access to the database files of clients of another partner organization or ours. Likewise, those of our headquarters staff who do not need client information to fulfill their job duties do not have such access. Be assured that access is limited to a need-to-know basis. There are many ways in which you support us in protecting client confidentiality. Because the SingleStop model relies upon technology, you do not need to save paperwork on clients or print out client files. All the screening information that you need should be saved in our database and accessed online. If you ever need to use paper intake, please only keep it if necessary and hew to our minimum necessary principle of data collection. If you ever need to print or scan, you should destroy or return documents containing personal information to the client. If you ever need to email personal information, you should employ encryption and keep this practice to a minimum. You should let them know that this is always an option. They just need to see a site lead or log onto their account on SingleStop's technology in order to review their account. Then, they may request corrections directly from you or via the website. We do not store client information in any servers or computers in our offices. We do not allow staff to store client information on laptops, thumb drives, CD-ROMs, personal devices, basically anything electronic that can be carried around. Our databases are securely stored in the cloud with companies like Amazon Web Services. We do not want to store client personal information on paper or any other form. If you ever need to ask your client for identifying documents, please return them to the client or shred them. Do not store client files. This is an important part of the SingleStop system. We use software and databases to store client data so that you do not need paper files, storage boxes, or the like. Occasionally, you may need to scan documents in order to submit them to an agency. In those cases, make sure to delete the document from your computer, laptop, or other technology. Also, do not share client information to cloud or shared accounts without permission from SingleStop technology. Occasionally, a partner may ask you to use a document sharing account with them, especially for purposes of coordinating client scheduling. You should first get approval from your program officer before using and uploading any client information to such an account. Do not share your login information, such as account name and password. Always use a different password for your work accounts than your personal accounts. If you need help remembering passwords or making complex passwords, you can use a kind of software called a password manager. There are many options that you can search for online. When transmitting client information, use encryption whenever possible. SingleStop offers training and support on how to use encryption, so just ask if you need help. Be smart about your computing practices. Always use a password on your laptop. Lock up laptops when you are not at work, and do not use a work laptop for personal purposes. Do not store client information or passwords on your computer. Do not email yourself passwords. Lock your computer when you leave your desk. Use privacy hoods for monitors and shared spaces. Do not download applications onto your work computer or devices without permission from SingleStop. And if you are ever experiencing computer difficulty, do not take your equipment to unknown service providers or call unknown support phone numbers. Just call SingleStop IT. We are here for you. When it comes to email, be very careful about clicking on links or attachments that you are not expecting. Sometimes, criminals even pretend to be a trusted person or company and email bad links that can download malware or viruses onto your computer. This is called email spoofing. Sometimes, they ask for information such as your passwords or client data by pretending to offer you help. You should look at the sender's email address and make sure that you recognize it. This kind of crime is called phishing, spelled with a PH, because the earliest hackers who exploited telecom systems were known as freaks, with a PH. It sounds like they are casting a line, and phishing is for your info, right? If there is ever any doubt, just reach out to the real person with a phone call and ask them if they meant to email you. There are a lot of email scams out there, so just drop any suspicious email into your junk or spam folder. There are state laws that define personally identifiable information. There are some differences from state to state, but the main idea is that the information that can be used by itself or in combination is information that could be protected. What is the protected information? Name, address, phone number, email addresses, birth date, birthplace, or answers to security questions like mother's maiden name. Identifying numbers such as social security number, driver's license, student ID, vehicle registration number, income or financial information, including accounts and credit card numbers, genetic or biometric information, login names, screen names, handles, or IP addresses. Just remember that some information can be combined to find someone's identity, or to break into their taxpayer or other account. For our healthcare programs, we follow HIPAA compliance. HIPAA does not refer to just any kind of medical or health information. It refers to all personally identifiable information that is gathered during our administration of certain programs, such as health insurance enrollment for the Department of Health. The workers in these special programs, including navigators, facilitated enrollers, and CACs, must follow special rules that regular single-stop site staff do not need to follow. For our college partners, we support our FERPA compliance. This means that it is our policy to not ask our college partners to share student data in any way that would violate FERPA. There are special rules that they must follow to protect their students' personal and educational information, and we support that. SingleStop has a few documents that you will need to use. We ask that you have each new client read and sign our client privacy statement. Please read the instructions out loud to the client and then give him or her at least 5 minutes to read and sign it. These must be kept for 7 years. You can keep them in paper form or scan and store them electronically. We will occasionally audit sites and ask you to produce the client privacy statement for random clients. The Privacy and Program Integrity Policy is in every site contract of ours and sets forth our rules and how to handle client data. Whenever you think someone's privacy has been violated, just fill out our privacy report form and email it to your program officer and/or privacy@singlestop.org. We promise to look into and cure any problems that you report. You can also use this form to submit concerns or questions. SingleStop has a Privacy Oversight Committee and a Chief Privacy Officer. Always feel free to reach out to your program officer or privacy@singlestop.org with questions, comments, concerns, or compliments. In 2016, SingleStop rolled out a new technology that clients can use from their own computers or devices by accessing the internet. Clients can learn about their benefits eligibility by themselves and then talk to site staff to learn more and get help applying for benefits. Site staff will also use the web app to do the work that they used to do with Ben. As a new and improved benefits screening tool, SingleStop's technology is designed with privacy and security in mind. We use technical, administrative, and legal protections for this technology. This technology is new and special to us. Like all websites on the internet, it is protected by some legal requirements called the terms and conditions, which basically say the following. SingleStop owns this new technology. It is our intellectual property. This is a new technology that's still in development. It is not a final product. Clients will need to share some personal information in order to get results. If you open an account for a client, the client will be able to return and use the website again and again with the saved information. Clients are not required to save their information in a user account. Our privacy policy describes how we use and protect client information. Users can only use this technology for the intended purpose of clients' benefits screening and support. This prohibits misuse of the website. It is illegal to hack or damage our software or disturb the security of the website and all of its related systems. It is also legal to try to take any of the ideas or code underlying the website and try to use it for other purposes or profit. Users cannot use the website to post anything offensive or inappropriate. SingleStop owns the trademarks SingleStop and SingleStop USA, so do not use them without our permission. SingleStop is not responsible for any problems that come out of using the website. We also link a lot of other websites that are not part of SingleStop, so we are not responsible for the content, usability, or any other part of those websites. This summary is available for your use on the learning platform. Privacy policies for websites are usually ignored by users and cranked out perfunctorily by website providers. But in the spirit of openness and client consent, we made this policy with the intention that it be an easy-to-read and honest description of how we use and protect client information. Sometimes users get nervous about plugging so much personal information into a website, so this can help allay their concerns. Why do you need my information? It takes a lot of personal information to screen clients for benefits. This website only asks for as much information as is necessary, only information that is required by the government for the many benefit applications considered by our system. What about my family? This website asks for information about the client's family and household only when it is required for a benefits search or application. How does this work? The website uses the client's personal information to look through our list of top government benefits and find estimates of benefits or services that might be a match for her or him. Do you do anything else with my personal information? The website saves information as a client file so that clients can return to single-stop offices and get further assistance from site staff. Only the client, the assigned site staff, and select members of our headquarters staff have access to this file. We study and evaluate Single-Stop's performance as a nonprofit by looking at how much it has helped clients through this website. We do not study clients as individuals, but as big anonymous groups. Then we use these aggregate numbers to report to funders and to seek funding. Where does my personal information go? The data that you input for clients goes straight into our secure database, which is hosted by cloud storage companies. We do not save client information on any standalone computers. Clients can close their account anytime and no longer be active single-stop clients. But this does not remove their information from our database. To have information deleted from our database, clients should email privacy@singlestop.org. Do you follow clients online or profit from their use of the website? The website does not use cookies or online tracking. SingleStop does not sell any client data or information about user behavior. We will share information about user behavior in order to make the website work better. And that completes our Privacy and Program Integrity training. Please read the Privacy and Program Integrity Policy and prepare your program so that you meet all the standards that have been shared in this training. And again, if you have any questions, just reach out to your program officer or send an email to privacy@singlestop.org.